Hello and welcome to Never Seen It. It's a podcast about movies that we haven't seen yet. My name is Trent. I'm here with my wife, Betsy.
Hi.
I don't know why we keep saying the description of the podcast because this is episode number 28. If you haven't figured out what the hell this podcast is, number one, you didn't read the description.
You skipped ahead.
Number two, what the hell are you doing here?
Thank you.
Thanks, but okay. Today, this is the penultimate episode of the Fast and Furious series.
And the only spin-off to date.
Yet. Yes.
I said to date.
Yes. We are watching Fast and Furious presents, Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw getting their own movie.
Yeah. Of course, we have the lovely reminder that, hey, you can't just call it Hobbs and Shaw. You have to tie it into the Fast and Furious thing, much like Tokyo Drift. You can't just call it Tokyo Drift. You have to tie it in with this other popular thing.
I guess. There's been plenty of spin-offs, though, that don't have anything to do with them in the title.
But you know what? It gets more people's attention.
Ah, true.
This is a very popular movie franchise, Betsy. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah. And this is the fourth one? Wait, no, the fifth? Wait. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to figure out how many of these Dwayne Johnson has done. He was in 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is the fifth one.
Yeah.
And the third one, Jason Statham has done.
Yes.
And the first one that they star in together, even though in our last episode we talked at length about Fate of the Furious and how it kind of felt like the Hobbs and Shaw movie half the time.
Right. It's like that episode in a sitcom where they focus on the guy who's about to leave the show.
Yeah.
Or he's about to get a new job or get this other thing. He's going to move away and oops, Joey happened.
Well, it could also be, and we've talked about this before, the Paolo and Nikki thing on Lost. You've not seen Lost.
I have not seen Lost.
But I've explained to you Paolo and Nikki many times.
Probably. I don't remember a damn thing.
Okay, I won't go into the whole thing again. This will be the third time I've explained this to you. The shortest version I can explain it, the way I can explain it, they had the core group of people on the island, and then they would introduce new characters. Amongst them, consequentially, Michelle Rodriguez was on Lost, if you didn't know that.
You have said this.
But they would introduce new characters, and they would kind of go back and do these flashbacks and show you how they fit in.
Yeah.
And of course, this being on an island, your assumption is, well, there's more castaways here that we just haven't seen. But they did it in such a convoluted way with those two where they were like inserting them into important storylines from the series that it just beat you over the head with how stupid it was.
Betsy, are you saying Lost was stupid and convoluted?
At times. At its best, it was an incredible TV show. At its worst, it was Paolo and Nikki. And I can fight anybody who disagrees with me, but I have yet to find a Lost fan who disagrees with that statement. But it's that philosophy where Hobbs and Shaw, it's kind of, okay, we have these two characters. They've already been established, but let's go see what they get up to. Yeah. My assumption is this is after the Fate of the Furious. This is not like a weird, multiverse situation.
Yeah,
I was kind of,
before we watched Fate of the Furious, these guys were enemies.
Correct.
They were, even at the beginning of, I think it was the beginning of 8, where Hobbs goes into jail and Shaw's right across from him.
And they're talking
shit. They're mortal enemies talking shit to each other. Hobbs saying he's gonna kick his ass or whatever. And we had no idea that, by the end of it, everybody's cool now.
Right. No, and now we get a buddy cop movie.
Right. I don't know if you want to call it a buddy cop movie. This is more...
They're both working kind of for an agency. They're sort of guns for hire.
Yeah.
It's the best description, the closest description is a buddy cop movie.
Sure.
That's what I assume this is going to be. They're on another mission. Idris Elba's the bad guy.
And they get recruited by whomever. Or maybe Mr. Nobody's in this one too. I don't know.
There's gonna be some quips about two bald guys. There's gonna be explosions and gunfights and wrestling and glass government buildings.
And Idris Elba calling himself the Black Superman.
Something like that.
I remember that from the previews, and that's it.
Yeah. And I'm assuming this is in London just because of the cast. I see a lot of British people in this.
Sure. That might be where it's primarily. I really like the treatment that they give the. I think maybe it's not on the poster, but I've seen some promotional artwork where the left side is Hobbs. He's in L.A. with palm trees and shit, and on the other side is Shaw with like Big Ben in the background.
Gotcha.
It's like a composite image of them across from each other, but from two different worlds. But see, Betsy, these people are from two different worlds. They're coming
they gotta
together.
come together. They gotta work together to save the world from impending doom.
I don't know why we're giving this movie such depth.
It's not depth. It's rational cliches that we have drawn from these kinds of movies.
Yeah.
Like, I would be willing to bet if I really wanted to sit here and take a guess about this movie, I could get really specific into the plot points without knowing a damn thing about this, just because this is a type of movie.
Of course it is.
And having seen the last, 4 Fast and Furious movies
where they've gone off the rails.
They're just like go big or go home.
Yeah.
I assume this is go big or go home for these two characters.
Right, that maybe they couldn't bring up an excuse to have the family do yet another scheme.
Right.
So guess what? We have this side story where we want to introduce a bunch of other characters, and the family doesn't need to be there.
Do you think there's any cameos?
I'm sure there is.
Or at least a wink and a nod.
Yeah.
They will mention
You mean
them.
cameos from the family?
Yeah.
There's at least going to be some references to that. Because you can't have a Fast and Furious movie without that. They couldn't even make Tokyo Drift without a nod to have Dom at the very end.
Right. Everybody calls this movie Hobbs and Shaw, but it's Fast and Furious. Hobbs and Shaw!
Right, right.
But you have to have Fast and Furious in it.
Right. Betsy, you're not going to understand the rich tapestry of lore if you don't watch the other 8 movies first.
I would be willing to bet we could watch this movie not having seen the others, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we don't need to see this one at all.
How many poor girlfriends were dragged to this movie, and by their
idiot boyfriends?
Thank you. Thank you. Just no, it has nothing to do with the rest of them. It's just an action movie. Come on.
Don't take it so seriously, brah.
Yeah, bruh.
Bruh.
We saw something on Instagram. I saw something on Instagram earlier this week, and it was a thing of like a dude and a girl in a car as a cartoon thing, and a dude said, "Hey, we should go see that Fast and Furious movie," and the girlfriend responds, "Oh no, those are stupid movies," and then the image on the punchline is Roman saying "Ejectocito, cuz,"
and shooting her out the car.
Yeah, and the caption is "Only the real ones understand this reference." And hey, if you remember back in episode whatever when we covered Too Fast, Too Furious,
in Too Fast, Too Furious,
yeah, that was one of those that has stuck with me.
Lucky me, I'm in the club. I get the joke.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about Too Fast, Too Furious. We're here to talk about Hobbs and Shaw.
Aren't we, Betsy? Aren't we?
So why don't we go watch it?
All right, we're going to go watch Hobbs and Shaw. We'll be right back. We're back.
Yeah.
Hobbs and Shaw, Betsy.
That's the thing we watched.
Yep.
It was okay. I don't think this was a great movie by any means.
It wasn't hot trash. It wasn't high art.
No, this is an action movie.
Yeah.
And if that's what you wanted, if you went into this expecting an action movie, then they delivered. It's two tough guys talking about how tough they are, making some quips, starting some fights, saving the world. And by the end, they keep calling each other brother.
Yeah. And in reality, this had nothing to do with the Fast and Furious franchise.
Nothing.
Zero.
Nope.
You could have pulled these two guys out and just made a Tango and Cash movie.
Yeah, and that's basically what they did.
That's basically what this is. It is another Tango and Cash.
I've never seen Tango and Cash.
Hey, you should watch Tango and Cash.
So don't make any specific references.
I'm not going to
get them.
I'm not I also haven't seen Tango and Cash since I was in college. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's two dudes who come from different backgrounds teaming up to accomplish a goal. I mean, it's very, very generic.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, we know these two characters from this other shit.
Right. Well,
But we really don't.
No.
They're different in this. At least Hobbs is.
To a degree.
Hobbs was not a comedian in the other Fast and Furious movies. He was a by the book, serious as all hell, do the job and get it going. No, he's a fucking comedian.
No,
in this.
he didn't until the last one, until Fate of the Furious, where he starts. They basically talk big. They just threaten like all the ridiculous things they're gonna do to each other.
Sure.
He almost made an identical threat in the last one. He said something about punching his teeth and he'd have to brush his teeth up his butt. This time he's like, I'm gonna kick your ass and you'll be chewing on shoelaces. It's kind of the same thing.
It's the same kind of shit that he as a wrestler would be saying to another wrestler.
Speaking of wrestling, the fact that they did a callback to his fucking eyebrow thing.
The people's eyebrow, for those in the know.
Yes. It's just like a little moment.
And for me, it's more like, come on, man.
I think there was a lot of moments like that in this movie where I was like, come on, really?
It was too much.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just go to the beginning. I'm gonna go all the way to the beginning. So we go to the opening sequence where this team is trying to get this virus, and Idris Elba shows up, and they say, who the hell are you? And he just says, bad guy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the dialogue we get.
The tone of this movie.
It's weird.
Is very strange.
Yeah, it's like not quite funny enough, but then it goes like too far into being weird funny.
It's almost trying to be camp.
Yeah.
But it can't do it. You can't do camp with big, strong, masculine dudes who are serious half the time and the other half they're trying to be silly.
That was the problem. They spent too much time trying to be serious and equal parts too much time trying to be silly.
Yeah.
And they didn't find the middle thread.
Nope.
Like they were much better in Fate of the Furious at finding that kind of balance.
Yeah.
Where they were goofy without being over the top. And the action sequences in Fate of the Furious where you see the two of them fighting, it worked. This one, I didn't like it as much.
Also, it's a little incongruous
big words again.
when you look at, when you remember Fate of the Furious and the attitude those guys had at the end of that movie.
They were already kind of buddies.
They were cool.
Yeah.
At the end of that movie. They're back in the same room together and they're saying, no fucking way.
Yeah.
That was their one. They both said it at the same time. That was the one.
Listen, you can say it twice as long as you say it at the same time.
They found a loophole. So, yeah, the tone and like the differences between the actual Fast and Furious movies and this.
Oh, this is nothing.
They changed the characters too much.
Yeah.
I will say, Shaw, pretty much the same. I'm not going to say they changed his character all that much. He's, again, more British. They really Britished him up in the last one.
Britished him up?
Yes, that's the term.
Okay.
And this, he's basically continuing that over.
Yeah.
So, I got no problem with his character.
Was The Rock skinnier?
I don't know.
His neck looked thinner.
I think that might have been just how he's shot.
Shot and how he's dressed.
Yeah.
Maybe. He just looked different in this, and I don't know what it was.
Different lenses will do that to you.
I guess. Different director, different style.
Yep.
This one was very shiny computer animated.
There was a lot of CG.
Yeah.
There's a lot of CG. And that's a little different from what we're used to in the other movies.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of like, they wear their practicality on their sleeve, and they're proud of it.
Yeah, they have a stamp at the end of most of the movies. These are real stunts.
Real people
by
doing
real
them.
drivers.
Yep.
Don't attempt this at home.
Yeah.
This one, we have a self-driving motorcycle
Right.
that also like bends and molds and maneuvers, and it's like, yeah, that's not real.
Looks cool.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
If you could just accept this as just an action movie, and you really have to stop thinking about any relation to Fast and Furious to enjoy this.
By about 2/3 of the way in, I realized, there's nothing to do with the rest of these movies in here.
Nah.
None whatsoever. Again, you could have taken the Fast and Furious thing off of it,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't have done anything
Wouldn't make a
to
difference.
change.
No. If they were to make a sequel to this, do you even need to have, like, think about having Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw 2. Like it starts getting silly. Or Hobbs and Shaw with a subtitle.
Everybody just calls it Hobbs and Shaw anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need it. It's like Star Wars A New Hope. Like, nobody calls it A New Hope. They all call it Star Wars.
No, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's our reference.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the movie, they're doing that shot where it's like, here's Hobbs and his life in Los Angeles, and here's Shaw and his life in London. But look how similar they are. They both punch down doors and kick guys in the balls. They're the same guy.
Yeah.
And they're like making cracks up to the guy, like, I'm the guy who's gonna do this to you. And then they do it.
And that's part of the tone that we're talking about. They
didn't quite get there.
No, because if you're making this movie in a vacuum and you're introducing these characters,
and you've never met them before,
that did nothing for you.
Nope. No, it's showing you, look how similar they are. But and then they go to a diner where The Rock eats an absurd number of pancakes.
Yeah, he's presented with the pancakes. You don't see him eat them.
Yeah. That was so stupid. He's like, no, that little stack's for her. And they come out with a comically
You have to have like 4 servers come with the food.
Again, it's just like so over the top, like, look how silly this is. He's gonna eat all those pancakes.
Speaking of silly,
Mr.
Ryan Reynolds.
What the hell?
Being his most Ryan Reynolds self.
He probably had no lines and he just gabbed. Because that's what Ryan Reynolds does.
It really is.
Yeah, he of course is appearing as a voice before you see him, and you and I both went, well, I know who that is.
I know that voice.
I didn't know he was in this.
I did just because I've seen the cast list.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, I knew he was in it. I just didn't know how.
But his character is weird too. Like, he's almost like a Deadpool type because he just won't shut up, but he's like a weirdo.
Yeah.
Because he's like, we're best friends. Remember how we're best friends?
But again, that's it. They're kind of writing it for him.
Yeah.
Like, Ryan Reynolds can only play Ryan Reynolds these days.
Yeah, they were leaning really hard into his Ryan Reynolds-ness.
Yeah. Which is fine. I like Ryan Reynolds. I like Deadpool.
And that could have really worked. This part could have really worked, but because they didn't hit the nail on the head for the rest of the tone, it's just like off-putting. He was off-putting.
Well, it's like, hey, you kind of want to back up a little bit.
Yeah, you're
from
like too
him.
much.
Like, whoa, come on, man. You're cool, but you're not that cool. But so Ryan Reynolds is a CIA agent because of course, and he's there to recruit him for a job because of course.
Because of course.
And then we got the other side of the pond, Rob Delaney, for whatever reason, is also a CIA agent, which, if you don't know Rob Delaney, he is a comedian. He's strange.
A strange comedian?
He's a strange comedian.
I don't know his stuff.
It's a lot of it's a lot of self-deprecating stuff.
Okay.
He's known for being on Twitter a lot. Yeah.
I definitely know his name, but yeah, I don't know anything about his humor.
Yeah.
So just based on what you know of him, was this character reflective of his personality the way Ryan Reynolds is just, jabber-mouthing?
So I've seen precious little of his actual stand-up.
Okay.
It's his attitude fits with what his character is portrayed as, but again, he's on screen for like a minute.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So to back up just a second, why is Helen Mirren's character in prison?
I would really like to know that.
Because at the end of the last one, she's not in jail. And in this one, they're just like, she's in jail.
Yeah, she's not only in jail, but she's been sentenced to hard prison time that she could get out in 2 years with good behavior. But really, it's going to be 4.
Because she knows.
Yeah.
She knows. She doesn't want a nail file.
I want to know what she did to get to go to prison.
Yeah, and she's like, it's great. It's like retirement. They take care of me. I have time for Sudoku. Yeah, and then she's there to be, exposition and say, oh, I wish you and your sister would get along again.
Sister, eh? You mean that other Brit lady at the beginning of the movie that escapes?
You mean Shaw the Third?
Yes.
Or Fourth? I don't know what the hell she'd be.
I don't know.
Second Ms. Shaw.
Yes.
Ms. Shaw.
Yes.
I like Vanessa Kirby as Helen Mirren's daughter.
Have you seen her in anything else? I haven't.
Yes. She's in The Crown.
Well, of course she is.
Crown.
Everybody everybody who can put on that kind of an accent is in The Crown.
And she was nominated for an Academy Award this year.
For
Best Actress. For Pieces of a Woman.
I don't know that one.
We didn't see it because it wasn't nominated for Best Picture. But yeah, I wrote that down. I was like, she made Hobbs and Shaw. And then she was nominated for an Oscar within the same year, basically. Hey. And I love when that happens because sometimes it just, depending on what people pick, the projects they pick, sometimes they don't always time out the way you think. So you might make 12 period dramas and then one goofy ass comedy, and then the way they get released, they are back to back, like your weirdest movie and your best movie.
It happens a lot when actors decide, hey, I want to work now.
Yeah.
They make like 3 or 4 movies in a row.
Out.
And depending on when the studios want to put them out.
You mean 2004, the year of Jude Law?
Right. Yeah, that's totally right.
6 movies in 1 year he had.
And like when you are in demand, that's what happens. Studios want to hire you.
Yeah.
What are you going to say? No?
Right.
You're on the come up.
This is basically, she would have just come off of The Crown because she was on the first 2 seasons.
Okay.
And that finished a couple years ago. So she would have finished that and made this movie. And then right after this movie, she got nominated for an Oscar. Go figure.
Hey.
But she was really good in this.
Yeah, she was.
I think of anybody, she was doing the best job of all of them.
Yeah, she was the standout star, the breakout star.
She looked cool.
Yeah.
Her hair was cool.
Yeah.
I liked her hair.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and don't worry about the math. She's only 21 years younger than Jason Statham.
Oops.
It's fine. I looked that up because it was bothering me so tremendously. I was like, I know she's young, but how young is she compared to Jason Statham and The Rock?
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah, don't look into that closely.
She's younger than us, Trent.
Well, of course.
By a number of years.
Of course.
But yes, so Helen Mirren sets up the sister.
Yeah.
And of course you were like, wait, is this the sister? And I already knew that.
Well,
I did know that she was his sister. But when
there's no nuance to this movie, they just put it all out in the open.
No, but I made one prediction that was correct.
Yes.
The glass government buildings, but they fixed it. They put glass that you couldn't break.
Yeah.
So he threw a chair and it didn't smash, and I was so tickled.
They're in London. It's only the U.S. government
buildings.
buildings.
It's just the outside of the building that's made of glass, which is that was their fatal flaw.
Yes.
They figured out the mistakes they made in the United States, and so they put unbreakable glass throughout the building.
At the quote-unquote CIA black site
Yes.
in London, in a clear office building. You know,
But they
black site.
made a mistake in that they made the outside glass, and that's why the bad guys were able to bust in.
Exactly.
But Vanessa Kirby's character did make a mistake because her whole apartment was made of glass.
Right. What is with glass? Oh my god.
It looks cool, I get it.
Yeah.
But they have used it to death in these series. Like, just smash everything. Just dive bomb people with all the weight in your body and throw them into the closest glass thing. A wall, a table, a door. I don't care. Smash it.
You know,
Throw them out of a building.
While you're talking here, I just had a flash of a movie that we both love, and we've mentioned this on this podcast. The movie Collateral. At the very end,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. By the way, Tom Cruise, that is probably his best movie.
Certainly one of his top ones.
I'm not a big Tom Cruise dude, but that movie is fantastic, and he is great in it.
Yeah.
But in that movie, near the end, I'm not going to spoil it, but he finally meets up with the dude who's been chasing him, or he's been chasing, and they're in an office building, and I think the trivia that I know about that movie is that they actually used live ammunition rounds in an office building to shoot through the office building and shoot like glass panels, like glass dividers within offices, and it's real stuff, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It is terrifying how loud that is depicted in the movie, and how like the muzzle flashes of the gun going off.
It's dark. It's the middle of the night.
Yeah, exactly. God, that movie's great. That's what kind of flashed in my mind when we're talking about glass breaking in movies.
Another government building in that one too.
No. Well,
It is. It's a law building.
I guess you're right.
It's
You're right.
That's she's a DA or
they're
something.
a prosecutor. Yeah, they're prosecutors. Got it. Okay.
It's
All
a
right.
movie trope. So they kidnap Vanessa Kirby's character, and then once again I wrote down, that's not how physics works.
When they're going down. Yeah. Oh,
throw
yeah.
the ropes down,
When
and
they're-
they're walking down the side of the building, and Idris Elba is carrying her on his back.
Yeah.
And then The Rock just like throws his own body.
The physics stuff I believe with the dudes, but not with The Rock, how he does that.
No!
That is ridiculous.
He's like a 300-pound man
Yeah.
that's all muscle, and he just sort of throws his body and
Also-
lands exactly where he wants.
Well, and he's grabbing the rope or whatever
Yep.
line that there is with his bare hands. Your hands would be, there's no skin left
No.
if you're grabbing that and hanging on.
I don't even know that those were ropes. They were like metal or something.
Whatever it is.
But the point is, you
cannot hang on
even
to
The
that.
Rock, who works the hell out with like a chain draped around him in this
Right.
movie.
Yeah, his hands are probably all calluses by this point in his lifting career.
Still wouldn't matter.
Still. But yes, I kind of throw that away. They didn't go too hard with the ridiculous action. That one was a little much. It was kind of cool looking, but yeah.
Yeah, that bothered me. It's just like, I don't know. It was
too much.
It was
They went
too much.
too far.
The action sequences were so over the top that they became unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I know that you want to up the ante in action movies, and you want it to be big, and you want it to be splashy, and you want it to make people go, ooh, wow. But where we've been watching Fast and Furious, I am laughing my ass off because it's so ridiculous, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy this.
Yeah, this
Like,
one
it
wasn't
was, like,
really
not-
fun.
It was trying to be, and it wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
And that bothered me. So, like, they're coming down this building in what should be a really cool shot, and then they're trying to inject humor because The Rock is swinging on a rope with a dude.
Mouthing the words "fuck you"
Yeah.
to Shaw in the elevator,
And he's just riding down the elevator going wanker.
right.
You know?
It's too much. Yeah.
And then they get down to the street, and there's just basically, like, 2 seconds of fighting, and then they get in the car, and it's over.
Yeah. Well, there was a pretty good chase scene in that.
That chase scene was all right.
Speaking of the
That was all right.
chase scene, speaking of the chase scene, something I noticed and I think I heard this before this movie came out or during the release.
Okay.
There is a Cypress Hill song playing in the background during that.
Oh, over the track that's playing.
The track that is playing during the motorcycle/car chase.
Yes.
Cypress Hill featuring Idris Elba rapping on the track. He's like rapping about himself as the character.
Why?
I don't know.
We're gonna have to go back and listen to the lyrics to that. Does he say the phrase "Black Superman"?
He probably does. I was waiting for it. I almost thought that maybe that was one of those things that is just in the trailers and not in the movie.
Fair enough.
But it happened way at the end.
Yeah.
Near the end,
But this was pretty close to the beginning. It was like 20 minutes in.
Yeah, that chase scene, yeah.
That chase scene. Yeah, I'll give you that. That chase scene was pretty good. But again, it was really animated. It was computer animation. It wasn't real.
There was that cool
driving.
scene of the McLaren going sideways underneath the two trucks.
The McLaren, is that what that
That's
is?
the car, yeah.
I've never heard of that car.
They put a big close-up of the logo of the car if you didn't notice that.
I was too distracted by the man on the fake motorcycle.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a cool scene. And of course, the dude on the motorcycle did the same thing, but in a cooler way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool to look at. I'll give them that. They didn't overdo it.
Right. But I kind of wanted them to. I wanted them to overdo it.
You wanted the Legolas in Lord of the Rings doing the quick flip up on the elephant. Is that what happens in that movie?
Oh, yeah, I think that's right.
The famous Legolas scene where he just flips up and gets up on something.
Like, if you're going to make it animated, just fucking go for it, you know? And I don't know. It just... I don't know how to describe it. It was either not far enough or way too far, depending on the sequence of
It just
the movie.
didn't fit all together.
No, it didn't. And it bothered me, and I wish I had enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so they escape.
They escape, and they go to Shaw's lair, and you fucking loved this moment.
Oh, it's great.
Because he has how many of those cars?
They're walking down his corridor of vehicles.
Yep, he's got like 6 McLarens.
Whatever. All of his fancy cars. And at the very end, Hobbs points out, hey, you got a little one just your size. And it's a little Mini Cooper, a British Mini Cooper, that he says, oh yeah, I pulled a job in Italy with one of those. Come on! Reference to one of his greatest movies, The Italian Job, the remake.
Frankly, that was like the thing that made his biggest break, was The Italian Job.
Oh God, I can't remember what came out first, that or The Transporter.
They probably came out of...
Because the only other thing that we would have known him from, like his first thing, was Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Well, yeah, he had made Lock, Stock, and he had made Snatch.
Yeah.
But those were not, like, everybody knew those movies. The Italian Job was probably his biggest movie
to that point.
To date.
Yeah, it's The Italian Job and The Transporter. I don't know which one came out first, but that was his big moment around the same. That was like 2002, 2003.
Yeah. But of course, do the youths today understand that joke? They throw that in this movie, and the nerds like us go, eee! He's making a joke about The Italian Job.
And I appreciate it. I don't think it belongs in a movie like this. Mm-hmm. You know, a wink and a nod to another movie from another director from a decade and a half ago.
But they were doing that so much in this movie, and they knew it. When they went to the airport in the next scene, Jason Statham's fake passport is named Franz Gruber.
Franz Gruber. Not Hans
And
Gruber.
Of course, Hans Gruber, the villain from Die Hard.
Mr. Alan Rickman.
And those are just the ones that we caught.
R.I.P.
I guarantee there were tons more of those cheesy action movie references completely packed into this movie.
Like My Cock Small.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay.
Why?
So those moments, so like the moments of them on the airplane.
Yeah.
Them sitting next to each other talking shit. That went on for so long, and then Kevin Hart had to get involved. Why was Kevin Hart there at all?
I don't know.
I know you have to have an excuse for them to be able to get from Moscow to Samoa. But come on, guys.
Did it have to be Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart sucks. I don't like Kevin Hart. I don't think he's funny at all. I don't have any problem with the dude himself. But I just don't think he's funny at all.
Okay. One thing that bothered me, and I don't know if you noticed this, was it my imagination or was his hair different in the 2 scenes he was in?
Kevin Hart?
Yes.
I did not notice.
I'm pretty sure when he's on the plane and he first appears, his hair is longer.
Yeah.
And then the next time we see him, he has short hair.
On the toilet.
On the toilet.
I didn't notice.
I'm 99% sure because I immediately went, wasn't his hair longer? Like, I understand maybe filming a cameo appearance, like, as the air marshal, but then it was like they decided to bring him back. They needed him another scene because he's just so funny. Let's get him in this.
Right.
But he wasn't even funny. He didn't even need to be there.
No.
He could have been funny, but he was just extra.
Yep.
To be extra.
Yep.
And like you said, like, those scenes just went on too long, and it was just done to death.
It's not like I hated them bantering back and forth because I think that can be funny, but it went on way too long. Then they started to get into the fact that The Rock wants to fuck his sister, and it's like if she wants to climb this mountain, she can do it over and over again.
I'll let her climb this mountain.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, it's just macho dude stuff.
Yeah, fine. But yeah, that whole scene went on way too long.
Okay, this was another thing in the next scene that you would never notice this, but I watch a lot of period dramas on the BBC and various things. The house they go to in, quote, Russia, I have seen in many, many UK filmed things. That is a house in the United Kingdom that gets used for different things.
The house.
So when they land in Ukraine and there's that giant green house where they meet up with the chicks.
Oh, the mansion.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
That house is in the UK.
Okay.
It's normally yellow.
All right.
And I have seen
computers.
I only know this because I saw that exact same house in 2 movies in about a month. And I was like, wait a second, that was supposed to be in Italy.
Did they just steal the footage and recolor the building?
No, it's just that there is a certain number of houses, these in the Regency era, like the Jane Austen era of London, of Britain, that still exist. There are wealthy families that have lived in these houses for 200, 300 years. And when they are filming period dramas, of which you may be aware, there's a lot.
These days, yeah.
They need a place to film them. And so they use the same houses over and over and over again.
Because I'm sure there's not many left.
No.
Authentic ones, anyway.
No, and if you're looking just like, I just need a living room, I need a stairwell, I need a foyer, I need the shot of the front of the house, then you start to notice it if you watch a few of them. And it was just a weird little thing that took me out of this movie. I know I'm like the only person that probably notices something like that, but I genuinely, a few months ago, I was on a spree where I watched a whole bunch of like PBS, BBC, period dramas, and I watched 2 in a row that featured that damn house.
With the demographics of the people watching this fucking movie, that's probably true.
I'm gonna show this to my friends. I'm gonna find a clip and I'm gonna show you, and you're gonna understand what I'm talking about. But it was a weird little moment. I'm a nerd. I love stupid, cheesy BBC period dramas. So sue me, okay? I was sitting thinking about rewatching Downton Abbey for like the 100th time.
Betsy, there are so many other things we can watch.
I know, but I could watch Downton Abbey again.
That's true. I'll tell you this, guys. There was, I don't even know if we were married by then. That there was a Super Bowl. You might have heard of it. A little football game called the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Happening.
Yes.
I think we were still in our old house.
We were.
And
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I was downstairs watching the Super Bowl. She was upstairs watching a new episode of Downton Abbey.
Yes, I had to leave. I tried
The
to get him
balls.
to give me the big TV.
The balls of PBS, knowing that
Okay.
there is an event happening that no other TV show could possibly go up against.
Okay, but at that time, Downton Abbey was an event in and of itself.
I know. But again, the balls on PBS for just pulling that off.
Yeah.
And knowing their audience enough that the people who are going to watch Downton Abbey are not the people who are going to watch the Super Bowl.
There's not a lot of crossover audience.
No.
I watched the first part of the Super Bowl, but then I said, this is boring. I'm going to go watch Downton Abbey.
You were going to do that anyway.
It's true. I wanted to watch it on
Hey.
the big TV, and you wouldn't let me.
Hey, if the Packers were playing, you would have watched.
Fair enough.
All right.
After Downton Abbey.
Just to reveal our allegiances here.
To completely digress and get off topic. Okay, so they load up with this random bunch of women who give them guns.
Sure, a bunch of badass chicks. Fine.
And then they get into the headquarters.
They do a halo jump.
The what?
That's called a halo jump.
What do you mean?
Them
jumping out of the plane?
Yeah, basically it's a low altitude jumping out of a plane.
Okay.
Using that kind of a parachute where you are not falling for very long. Ejectocito, cuz! They did one of those.
They did. Okay. So they get in there. They set a bomb for 45 minutes, and they're going to blow up the whole facility. And they make their quips about how we got to get out of here before that goes off. And they have 2 doors they could go through. This sequence bothered me a lot.
Okay.
Because there's 2 of them. There are 2 doors. They didn't need to go through both doors because both doors on the other side open to the same room.
But I think, didn't they have to get both sets of eye tracker thingers to read before they would open?
Why?
I don't know.
Reasons?
I don't know.
Just reasons. I don't know if that was the case, but I don't think so. I think they just picked a door and they each went through one to make an excuse for an action sequence. So The Rock punches a guy who's like 7 feet tall and gets him out in one hit.
Yep.
And then Jason Statham is supposed to have this super cool scene where he beats the crap out of like 7 guys. I thought it was a little slow and a little boring. It could have been really fast and cool, but they didn't do it enough.
And knowing how Jason Statham can actually fight.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen The Transporter, that has some of the best hand-to-hand combat scenes I've ever seen in a movie. He can do it.
And a lot of it's in the editing. You just have
Yeah.
to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, you need quicker cuts.
And it wasn't.
No.
It-
I agree with you.
It was slow. Like he would like punch a guy and then it'd be like this moment. Like it was too long.
It's like they wanted to string it all together, but they could have, you're right. I think they could have edited it.
They could
to
have
be-
shaved that down and made him look like a total badass by knocking these dudes out in 30
Or
seconds
like
flat.
shot it from where the Rock is more.
Yeah.
To have it, I
To
don't
be
know.
completely humorous, that's how you would do it. You would do it entirely from his side.
Yeah, like zero-
And it would be silent.
Yeah, I was just going to say 0 sound effects whatsoever. It's just him in their wrecking shop, and Hobbs can be in the other room just kind of looking at his watch or whatever.
And if you had done that and then still ended with the passed out guy shoving his face trying to get the eye to go, that would have been funny.
Sure.
But it wasn't funny because I didn't enjoy the sequence.
And even if they did it as they did it, them having to put like 7 different guys' faces up there,
It was too much.
it was too much. You needed to pull back.
Yeah.
This movie was like 2 hours and 15, 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
You could have shaved 30 minutes off this movie easy.
Uh-huh.
Easy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think if I were going to have notes for the editor, it would be tighten it up. Speed it up.
Yeah.
We don't need so much quippy dialogue.
Action movies need to be quicker.
Yes. And I can deal with a 2-hour action movie if its pacing is good.
Right.
The pacing wasn't good. I was getting bored at some sequences. I didn't understand what was going on. Like, we just need an excuse to get from here to there, so we're going to go to Samoa now.
Or we need an excuse to have them be able to quip back and forth together.
Right. Yeah, so this was about the point of the movie. I kind of stopped taking notes. Like, as I'm reading through these, I realized just how many minutes went in between.
Yeah.
So the next thing I wrote down was when they got to Samoa and they have their big finale action sequence. I wrote down Jason Statham side talker.
Yeah, I had the same thought. When he has to get big volume out of his voice,
And The Rock's behind him.
yeah, he's talking out of the side. Yeah,
I'm gonna go around the corner. It's
Yeah.
always out this-
that's the only way he knows how to project, I guess.
Yeah, it was bothering me.
It didn't bother me, but I certainly noticed it.
It was Jason Statham side talker. And it's the only time in the movie he did it.
Yeah.
He just turns into this burly Brit where he's just like, oi!
Turns into Stallone.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so let's talk about Samoa.
So Samoa.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't think I said this during the movie. I don't think I've ever seen Samoa depicted
island.
in a movie at all.
Yeah. It's an island. I looked it up on the map because I'm unfamiliar with the exact location in the world of Samoa and American Samoa.
Yeah.
And it is like smack between Australia and the United States. Like, it's the middle of fucking nowhere islands.
Yep.
So they went quite a ways to this teeny island in the middle of the Pacific.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know anything about Samoa. I don't know exactly where it is.
One of those Pacific islands.
Yeah. A specific island.
Yes, a specific island.
And then, of course, the guy who shows up, his brother, I don't know the actor's name, but I went, oh, it's this guy.
Yeah.
So he was on Fear the Walking Dead.
Yep.
He was in Training Day.
Thank you.
He is a man of many ethnicities.
He is a man that you cannot just pin down as to where he's from.
I think this is actually closest to what his actual culture is.
Don't have a clue.
But I would have to look that up. And now that I've said that, I'm probably wrong. But
Hey,
he's a good actor.
he is.
I wish I knew his name. I feel bad that I don't know that.
He should be in more. I like him as an actor.
Yeah, anytime he shows up, I go, oh, it's this guy.
Yeah. He plays Smiley in Training Day.
Yeah.
And he is fucking intense
He's really intense.
in that movie. I really like him.
So is his mustache.
Yes.
His hair is very intense in this one.
Yeah. His
Braids.
beard.
Yeah. So am I to understand all of those men are his brothers?
No.
How many of them are supposed to be his brothers? Because he kept saying, me and my brothers.
No.
My dad was enlisting us to be his new crew. So at least a number of them are.
A number of them are, I'm sure. Or cousins.
Maybe.
Maybe. But my thing is, if you really want to look into that, his father's been away.
Yeah.
So he left, what he said, 25 years ago?
25 years ago.
And he put his father away. He
Yes.
turned him in for doing some shit.
He was a bad guy.
Yeah. I don't think they could have had that many children if he's been away for 25 years.
Right, but they weren't young men. They were grown-ass men.
I get that, but still. Unless they started really damn early, I can't imagine they're all his brothers. I would assume some are friends, some are cousins, some are brothers.
All right.
That's what I'm going to say.
Okay, because they didn't really...
It makes more sense that
They
way.
didn't explicitly say, that one's my brother and this one's my brother. He just kept referring to them all as Uso, which I assume means brother.
Right.
His mom was awesome.
I like Mama Hobbs.
Mama Hobbs laying down the lawn throwing shoes at people.
Sandals.
Sandals, yes. And, you know, that's kind of that, she talks about the island hospitality, the island mentality, and that's a lot of cultures in that part of the world. Hawaii is the same. You know, you welcome people and you take care of people and, you know, you believe in people.
Yeah. And it makes for a good tourist destination.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Samoa.
It's a beautiful country, just
go
based on what we're seeing here.
Looked very nice.
I assume they actually went there. So, hey.
Sure looks like it.
Yeah.
So they have a sequence where they go like full Samoan and they are all going to fight them with traditional
Okay, before we get to that.
Yes.
Did you get Skyfall vibes?
Yeah. It's the go to the territory, go to the place you know.
Uh-huh.
It's Home Alone, it's Skyfall.
Uh-huh.
Fight them on your
Fight
own
them on
turf.
your own turf and lay traps because you are going to lure them into the traps.
You put them exactly where you want.
Exactly. I got total Skyfall vibes from that.
Again, that's another movie trope. Like, we could probably think of a lot of movies where they're kind of losing.
Yeah.
And they go back to their own territory because they know they'll have help there. They go back to their home base, and then they win because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a thing they do. Yeah. But yes, they are there. They start this fight. I thought we were going to get another haka. We didn't get a full-blown one. They kind of did it.
They kind of did.
But they didn't do all the, like, chanting and hitting chests and
no, but they did. They did enough to get the point across.
Yeah, and then they just start beating ass. And then it goes from nighttime to daytime in about 2 minutes. Full daytime. And then 10 minutes later, it's pouring rain.
Yeah, all of a sudden, it is dark clouds and heavy pouring rain.
Because we can't have a climax to this movie just, be fun and normal. We have to have it be in the pouring rain.
And slow motion.
And there was so much slow motion. I need to have a word with this director. Mm-hmm. This is what I think.
Pull back.
Pull back.
Pull back, man.
Show some restraint. And then, it just sort of ends. They win. They get the virus out of her. All is well. We're all going to go home. And then we had 3 fucking cutscenes at the end of the movie.
That meant nothing.
It was just more movie.
It's Hobbs and Shaw fucking with each other.
Yep.
Then we got Hobbs talking to Ryan Reynolds.
Yep.
And then we got Hobbs talking to Ryan Reynolds again. None of it added to the plot.
No.
None of it added to the substance.
It was like
it's just more bullshit.
Listen, I laughed when Ryan Reynolds said, I stabbed a guy with a brick. It's surprisingly easy. It's easier than I thought. But again, he was really weird and unnecessary in that part. So I don't know. It's sort of
Ryan Reynolds, weird and unnecessary.
They decided it's over, but it's not over until this scene. Except it's not over until this scene. Okay,
you had to wait until literally after the credits.
Yeah.
Literally after the credits before you got that last scene. And if I was in the theater and I waited for that, I would have been pissed off.
True.
Here we can just fast forward to the end and we can stop if there's content there and watch it.
Right.
But damn would I have been pissed off if I saw
that. Okay, so I don't really know where else to throw this in, so I'm just going to ask you here. So the scenes where Idris Elba's character, he's getting, programmed, basically. There's that boss voice.
Yep.
And sometimes it almost sounded like Ryan Reynolds. Did you catch that?
Because it was.
Really?
I looked him up on the IMDb. He plays that voice.
So are we to assume that he is just doing that voice or that he is actually that villain?
I have no idea.
Because my thought was he was going to show up as a villain. And I would have liked it better if he had. Because he would have made a lot more sense. Because sometimes the creepy over-the-top guy is playing a character, so you don't realize the bad guy's there right in front of you.
Yeah.
That is another movie trope. But they didn't give us that ending, so I am left unsatisfied.
I'm going to say, to make another...
but I'm glad I'm not crazy, because I'm like, that sounds like Ryan Reynolds.
I had the same thought, and I looked it up, and that was him.
Okay.
But I'm going to make a second Lord of the Rings reference.
Okay.
I think it might be a Gimli and Treebeard situation, where he's just doing two different characters as the same voice.
And it's just annoying and distracting when you find out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't think this movie is smart enough to pull the switcheroo where it's one guy playing a good guy, but he's actually a bad guy, and there's a reveal at the end. No, there's no reveal whatsoever.
But it could have been.
They could have, but they couldn't have pulled it off the way this movie was made.
Yeah.
If they wanted to make that, wouldn't have made any sense.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm just glad I'm not crazy because I was like, that sounds like Ryan Reynolds. And it was bothering me.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, he's like, oh, you don't remember me, but you will. We're going to see each other later. Like, setting it all up. Like, that's what you do in these movies.
Uh-huh.
You set it up for the sequel that may or may not ever come. It's just like, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I would be okay with a sequel if they took all of our notes that we're giving them and tightened it up and made it better. Could they make it better?
You make movie better.
Can we get Helen Mirren, like, kicking ass?
Please. By the time they make another movie, she'll be out of prison.
She's going to be out of prison now. They brought her cake.
Oh, that's right.
Don't eat it. Don't eat it. She just wants some C4.
We should get some cake.
Oh, I want some cake. You're right.
We should get some cake.
Damn it.
All right. Let's end this podcast so we can get some cake.
Okay. So, we heard from our friend Mitch again.
Hey, Mitch.
Mitch from Saskatoon. He said, you talked Buildings of Furious 7? 7? I still don't know the names of the films. He said 7 typed out or 7 the number. I also don't know, Mitch.
No, we don't know either.
Geo Teacher and me knows that Burj Dubai is the tallest building in the world by a wide margin. Fun fact. Muslim culture demands that the tallest building in a town is the mosque. So the top floor of that building is technically a mosque. Not sure if that is a plot hole, but wanted to mention it. I mean, that is a valid point because they're supposedly in the top building that is a penthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And
penthouse usually is at the top.
Yeah, it had a certain decor. I don't know if I would call it a mosque.
It also could be that maybe those buildings are not all the same height.
Maybe.
And as they were going to the other buildings, they were going down a few floors.
That could be.
So, I don't know. Let's just call it a plot hole. Because it's a Fast and Furious movie.
And then he continues, a question. You quickly mentioned some actors were terrible in their first roles. Can you name some examples? It is an intriguing topic. So he's referencing when we were watching the
Ronda Rousey
7th movie, Ronda Rousey, is not good.
I went back and just listened to the one line that she made.
Yeah.
She said, these parties are always so boring, or something to that effect, because she's trying to portray the fact that she's bored with just being a guard. She wants to actually fight.
Yep. But yes, it does happen, and we were talking about this before we recorded to see who came to mind, and we thought of 2 people. So the first one I brought up was January Jones. A local around these parts.
Yeah, she's from our hometown.
From here. If you watch her early stuff, she's not good.
January Jones has been basically cast as blonde bimbo number 2, like 4 different times in big movies.
The thing I always say, and I've told you this before, I saw 7 things that January Jones was in. 7. And I could not pick her out of a lineup. I did not know she was in these movies. And when I've gone back, like Love Actually, she's a bimbo from Wisconsin, and she's not good. What else? Anger Management. She is a bimbo prostitute, and she's not good.
And in the show Huff, with Hank Azaria, she plays a blonde bimbo, again, sensing a theme here.
She's not a bimbo so much as she's a pharmaceutical rep.
Yeah.
And those people are young and beautiful because they have to be able to get in the door.
Yeah. They basically, the premise is she is going into the office to try to sell the doctor prescription drugs to be able to prescribe to his patients, and she's wearing this like pink get up with a
Mini
very,
skirt.
very short skirt.
Yeah.
And she essentially seduces him into making out and like going out to party. And she's like this young, hip person. And she invites him to a bar, and like he's like 45.
She tempts him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she was in all of these things, and then she gets to Mad Men. And listen, she is supposed to play this sort of dead inside housewife
from the 50s.
And the reason
from the 60s,
the reason she is good in Mad Men is because that's basically her being a terrible actress.
Hey, she has a couple of great scenes.
She does. I wish there was more though.
Yeah,
She's
I wish
so contained all the time.
I wish they wrote her as like this. Like the one scene I'm thinking of is like a neighbor is hassling their kids and their dog because the dog is going after his pet birds or some shit. At the very end of the episode, she goes out with a fucking like rifle shotgun in her nightgown.
It's like a BB gun.
Yeah. Or some kind of... No, it was a real gun.
Really?
It wasn't a BB gun.
I don't remember that.
She goes out with a gun with her nightgown with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth and like goes up and shoots the birds as they get released.
Yep.
Just big mom energy right there.
Right.
Which, hey, that's the greatest scene in that entire show with her. The rest of it, who cares?
Yeah.
Anyway.
And listen, we're going to just give her a little grief because she's basically disowned. She's disowned her home state.
Oh, yeah. She shits on us all the time.
All the time. And you got to be proud of where you live and where you're from. And...
Hey, January Jones. Come on our podcast. Defend yourself.
Come on. Explain yourself, woman.
And so the other person we thought of that had a really rough start to their career and has very much turned it around is Mr. Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
If you've seen any of the Bill and Ted movies, if you've seen, what's the movie where he plays a dude who has a bad British accent?
Can you be more specific?
Isn't it the vampire movie?
He's in Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the fall with Keanu Reeves at the beginning of his career is he kind of was getting typecast. He kept playing these like surfer dudes. Yeah. And when he was trying to do more serious work, it really wasn't in his wheelhouse. So like Dracula, he shouldn't have been in Dracula. No. He and Winona Ryder were not fit for Dracula. I will give you Gary Oldman. That's because he's an incredible actor.
He is.
But those two just don't fit.
No.
They don't fit the bill. He's also, Keanu Reeves, is in Much Ado About Nothing. He does Shakespeare. And he's awful. He's my favorite part of the movie, but he's awful. And I only love it because he's awful. And my friend Marty and I have a running joke about that movie and how awful he is. So there's that, but he has been able to find his strengths, and he has been able to use his charm and get in on the joke about himself. So there's a Netflix movie, came out a few years ago, called Always Be My Maybe, and he has a cameo in it in which he plays himself, and he's like an intense version of himself, and he's funny. He's so funny in this movie.
I would like to see a comedy with him.
I think maybe we'll watch that sometime. Even if it's not for this, we'll just watch it because he's just playing up the joke of Keanu Reeves. And it's great. But he's been able to improve because he's found the things he's really going to excel at. Yeah. And you know, I even brought up, we talked about Dwayne Johnson. Mm-hmm. I don't think his earlier films are very good. That is my opinion. He is a charming, charming man. Mm-hmm. He has a lot of charisma. But the movies he was in at the beginning, they're not very good, and he's not very good in them. I don't think they're bad.
He's a dude who's basically running off of his charisma.
Yes.
And they're kind of forcing him into being a leading man in movies because of that. People will come to see these movies because The Rock is in them.
Correct.
And
you know what? They smell what The Rock is cooking.
Sure, why not? But yeah, and of course, other wrestlers. Hey, we're going to see one in the next movie. So, Mr.
Fact.
John Cena
Fact.
will be in this one. He is no stranger to also making his own movies and having them not be so good.
Well, that's because he's under contract with the WWE. Is that right? And so they produce all the movies.
That's right.
So it's easy for them to crank out a bunch of stuff, and it doesn't really matter how it does because they have a built-in audience that will watch it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And again, John Cena, definitely a charismatic man. Like, I've seen him do interviews. I've seen him, like, poke fun at himself. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Is he an actor? Nah.
No.
No, he's not.
But at the same time, neither is Dwayne Johnson. He's more likable in movies.
He's grown as an actor. I think he's dabbled more into more like serious like dramas and things like that are outside. Once he broke that contract, same thing. He had to like negotiate to be able to do this, like The Mummy Returns and The Scorpion King.
Sure.
He had to negotiate a contract because he was still doing wrestling at that time. Mm-hmm. So the movies he got to make later were only because he stopped wrestling. That's it. He's able to have the career he has because he made his own choice to not be tied to that organization.
Sure. And he's better off for it.
Absolutely.
Because he has the ability to go off and do his own projects that do not have to be sanctioned by Vince McMahon.
He gets to make 4 Fast and Furious movies and a Hobbs and Shaw movie, and now a 5th Furious movie.
I don't know if he's in the next one.
He is. I'm pretty sure. I thought I saw him in the credits somewhere. I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out.
That's the next one we're going to go see.
Trent! We've made it.
F9. We've made it to the end of the ones that are out anyway.
It's true.
But yeah.
So when next you hear from us,
the next one will be the brand new one, F9, The Fast Saga. They renamed it. It's not just F9. It's F9, The Fast Saga.
Dear Fast and Furious producers, what the actual fuck?
F.
Fuck.
What's the actual F?
Yeah.
9.
Please make some sense of your damn naming conventions. Mm-hmm. I can't take it anymore. Love, Betsy. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. But yes, we will be back. But in the meantime, reach out. What have you thought about this here little soiree?
Little?
Off of the beaten path of movies we haven't seen. We'll do a wrap-up episode after we've seen all 9. All 10, I guess.
All 43. 700 hours later.
We will do a wrap-up episode after we see F9, where we'll go over everything. I don't know if we're going to do a definitive ranking, the Never Seen It definitive ranking of Fast and Furious movies, TM.
We'll see. I don't think we have a TM, Trent.
Sorry. I can file a trademark. That's not that expensive.
It's not hard.
If you want to support us in getting our trademarks, support us at anchor.fm/neverseenit or click the little link in the podcast description. Throw us $1, throw us $5, throw us $10 if you're being generous.
Throw it at us.
Throw it at us if you want. These trademarks do not pay for themselves. But you can also just email us if you want to talk about what the hell we've been doing, if you have any suggestions as to what to cover in the future, because, hey, we're going to be done with this series soon enough.
Thank
God. Email us at neverseenitpod@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter, neverseenit_pod. And that's it.
That's it.
We'll be back to you next time with F9. Until then, this has been Never Seen It. I'm Trent.
I'm Betsy.
We'll see you next time.
Vroom vroom.
Bye-bye.